Welcome back to Horror After Midnight. I am your host, KC, joined tonight by SaWGuy. It's been a while, but we're back. How's it going tonight,
Hell
man?
yeah. Woo, it's been way too long, man. Damn, and I'm feeling good. What do we got today that we're talking about?
Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
Ooh, Halloween 4 was one of my favorites out there that we did, dude. Just because of the fact that it also introduces Daniel Harris in this. It's so crazy to think that, Daniel Harris got her start in this. But it also stars Donald Pleasance. It was made in 1988, released out there. Actually, it was released in 1988 on October 21st, on a budget of $5 million. But, gangbusters, 17.8 million is what it made in the US alone.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
yeah, but you know what's crazy about this one? Why they call it the Return of Michael Myers, right?
My guess is because in Halloween 3, they didn't use Michael Myers and they were trying to do a whole other kind of Halloween film, and everyone got kind of pissed off, so they decided to bring him back.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Because as we talked about in part three when we did this horror reviews on it, was the fact that John Carpenter kind of strayed away and was just like, you know what, I want to do an anthology of it. But if you did two movies on Michael Myers, you did a third one that was away from him. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, Halloween is all about Michael Myers at this point, and this film actually brought it up.
Oh, yeah, yeah. This one I really enjoyed. Um, Lots and lots of great parts. There's some things they could have done a little bit better, but overall, it's an awesome movie.
It was a little different for me because it's watching the beginning, you hear the guy talking. He's like, "Yeah, this guy's a real creep. He tried killing his sister 10 years ago." And I don't remember seeing this in theaters. The first time I saw this on TV when it was Halloween time, of course. And seeing the beginning, how they're like telling the whole story, and it's kind of a funny thing because they follow this and repeat it again later on with like Halloween Resurrection and all these other films. Because they got to introduce Michael Myers. And then the thing I don't understand is they fucking wait to transport him on Halloween night in the fucking rain. Why? What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking there. And one thing I thought was funny in the beginning there when they first get there to get him or whatever, the guard there, like in Halloween 2, Dr. Loomis lets us know over and over again that he shot him 6 times. And just not, they let us know that again in the beginning of this movie.
He shot him 6 times. I
Yeah,
can't, dude. Every time there should be a drinking game. Every time he said it, take a shot. We'd be fucking dead drunk.
yeah, we definitely would.
Canadian Miss, we're still waiting for that sponsorship, by the way. um, you know, honestly, like the beginning was cool. I mean, I got no love loss on that one, but I thought what was crazy is that like they put him in the transporting like unit. They're driving off, and all of a sudden he gets the guy's head and just smashes it in. And what I thought was fucking weird because you never see this in a horror film. He put his thumb through his fucking skull, just like
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I've never seen that done in any other movies. It was all because they were talking about like any that if he had any living relatives left, and it was like, yeah, a niece in his hometown, and that's like what woke him up or whatever.
he's a niece. What? That was kind of a weird thing. I mean, the story because John Carpenter obviously didn't do this story. It was somebody else that did it. The thing is, though, with this story, if you guys haven't seen Halloween 4, I mean, go watch it. You're missing out on something good. But with Halloween 4, this takes place, obviously, of course, 10 years after the fact in 1988. And it follows the story of Jamie. And Jamie is basically the daughter of Laurie Strode and the paramedic guy from part two. They got together and had a baby because he slipped on the blood, and I guess they found love at the ending of the movie. They had a baby, and then what's fucked up in the story, they faked their deaths and left her to be like an orphan to go fucking live their own life. Like that's what?
Left her in Haddonfield.
Yeah, and Haddonfield of all places, 10 years after that, and so it's the cool thing that I liked about it. There was a lot of continuity because they were saying that people would fuck with her as a kid, mostly because the fact they knew that her uncle was a boogeyman.
Yeah, Yeah, that's true. This one they said that she like died in a plane or in a car crash or something. But then we've come to find out later on that in the series she's still alive. Ain't nothing wrong with her. So
Yeah, that was one plot hole I would have to complain about. This is like, why would you have a kid and just dump off the kid like as an orphan? Like, but I mean, I get it. They had to bring back Michael Myers some way. Okay, I mean, at least they didn't show that he was like fucking, I don't know, magical or demon or anything. But this is one of the first films that kind of brought in the fact that like you can't kill him. They show that he got blown up in part two. This time you see him, he's got all the burn marks and everything. I like the fact they didn't even show his face, but every time you saw his hands and his skins, he was always charred up.
yeah, yeah, just like Dr. Loomis was in this one, the same way from when he basically tried to kill him at the end of part two. Um,
Yeah.
then again at the gas station in this one when Myers like hits the fucking gas pump and that shit blows up and makes the fucking car do like a fucking kickflip. Uh, Almost fucking got Dr. Loomis again with that. Uh,
No.
and then right after that we meet was it Reverend Jackson, that really cool old dude. What do you think of him?
Honestly, every time I see him, I think of the Wedding Singer where he tries to fight for Adam Sandler, and he goes, "What the hell are you doing? I'm sorry, but I used to be stronger." Oh my god, he actually was kind of a cool character in this. Just some of the sayings that he was like this drinking pastor, this drinking gospel dude. And it was kind of a weird undertone with him. He kind of, I wish they would have brought him more into the story, or at least he was helping Loomis, other than just driving around or whatever. But this one was like a lot really different.
Oh yeah, yeah. He reminds me a lot of like Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th.
Oh God, yeah. Shit, crazy Ralph. Um, yeah, it's kind of cool that they have like that character with it. But the story on this, like, I don't know. I look at the story and it's like, okay, so it's Jamie's. Well, not Jamie's. I was gonna say, well, that's where the name came from. Is Jamie Lee Curtis? They use the name on there as like a ha ha or wink wink.
Yeah,
But
Jamie.
it's actually yeah, that's why I was like, I almost said Jamie Lee Curtis. No, but her last name is Lloyd in this one, not Strode. So that way they're trying to protect her identity and all that stuff. But the story follows that Michael Myers escapes because he figures out that he has a niece. She's having nightmares about the boogeyman coming after her. She's adopted, and her adopted sister, Rachel, it's on Halloween. The family, of all things, they're going to go out on Halloween fucking night, which they never said they're going to go party. They're like, oh, we need you to watch our daughter. She's like, that's not my sister. That
Yeah,
kind of stirred up some shit, which is kind of fucked up. And then, you follow the teeny bopper life of like, oh, she wants to go hang out with her boyfriend, trick or treating, whatever. Um, who's also in this too? I forgot what was her name, but she's the chick from that TV show. What was it? The motorcycle guy with Lonzo or Lorenzo Lamas. You know which one I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember her name. But she was in it. She was the sheriff's daughter.
Okay, okay. She's
Yeah.
Brady goes and tries messing around with because she's got stuff to do on Halloween night.
Yeah. And it's funny because like you get
They're
the
so
you get
close to getting laid, and then the fucking her dad pulls up with Loomis and everybody in the car.
oh, and that shirt, like, oh my god. If you haven't seen Halloween before, go see it. This one's actually kind of funny. But anyways, they follow the story of like, you know, um, Rachel was taking care of Jamie, and then they go and see, Brady, her boyfriend, over there at the drugstore. And they're making bets, him and his other coworker, I guess they're friends. He's like, yeah, you can't mess with the sheriff's daughter. Watch. He goes over there and he says something to her and she goes, fuck off. But I thought that scene was kind of cool because it also kind of blended in everything where Michael was supposedly there. They showed his charred hand grab the mask.
Yeah,
Um, and it was crazy because they didn't show much, but it made you think of like Jamie going crazy. It also fed into the story where they got her a clown costume that looked similar to Michael Myers when he was a kid. And I thought that was a nice little cool callback that they did. But everything in this film, like, you knew that they fucked up with part three, that the fans were pissed that they had to come back and say, okay, we're going to put all this in. They put all the little winks in there. between like 1 and 2. Um, and this one kind of really was different in a way of like Michael, where he still had superhuman strength, which was weird. Um, the mask I think looked badass in the promotional stuff. But what do you think of the mask in the movie overall?
If I remember correctly, the one on the poster looked a lot better than what they actually used in the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that talk shit on Part Four's mask, dude. I don't know. I mean,
It
I
looked kind of,
love
I don't know.
right. It just they gave him slick hair, which Michael Myers didn't have slick hair back. You know, he had the fucking who was it? He had the William Shatner kind of like it's slick, but then kind of flipped up in the front. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was never really worried about like hairstyles and shit. I mean, he's out there
Yeah.
flashing people to death.
You know, that's what's crazy. And for the longest time, yeah, I think it was like almost 20 plus years in, everybody always talks shit about the Halloween 4 mask. It wasn't until I think what it was Trick or Treat Studios, they started making the different versions of the mask. They made a part 4, but they made different versions of it, you know?
Okay.
One for the trailer, one for the teaser, and then one that they actually used in the movie. Um, and it's so crazy because this is the first Halloween Michael Myers movie that came back from part 2, and they use like 4 different masks. Um, I never understood like if you're gonna bring him back, like that's the most iconic thing. Why? How do you fuck up a mask?
I don't know. I mean, it would make sense if it was like clean in the beginning and slowly, like throughout the movie, got dirtier or something, but not like completely different masks.
Yeah,
That I don't-
I just I don't know. I never understood that because I was just like, man, dude. But kill count. What do you think of the kills in this one?
they were pretty good, but there is one part of the movie where there would have been. I mean, I guess they might have been counted, but you don't see them on screen. For the police station, he basically goes in there and cleans house and kills the entire police force.
Yeah.
Not shown on screen. So that if they would have shown that, it would have made this movie so much better than it already was. But that's one thing they really dropped the ball on there.
Yeah. What do you think about the wink how they did it where they tried to do it like part 2 where everyone's like go inside the house, go inside the house, and then the town goes fucking crazy, and then they shoot the fuck out of that kid that was like rustling in the bushes. That was like a 17-year-old kid. I kind of like that.
That's
It
how
showed
the
people.
town like joined together. Or basically, it was a bunch of drunk guys at a bar, really. But basically band
Fucking
together to kind of help because the entire police force got killed. The only one left was like the sheriff and like one deputy, and that was it. So
yeah.
it's cool with them to try to help out, but they did end up killing some innocent kid.
That was, that was a trip, dude, how they did that. And like I kind of like that to the story because of course again they repeated it with Halloween Kills with the whole town going fucking crazy.
Yeah,
So it was kind of cool how they did that originally and started the trend. Um, I love the fact that they went to the sheriff's house and his fucking house just looked like Home Alone, dude. Like what the fuck? You're a sheriff and you own a big ass house like that?
yeah. Somehow, I mean, that it was a huge house, and they started like nailing everything up to where they're almost like prisoners inside that house besides the front door. Like they're like the only way out. So if Michael did get in there, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Out.
There was this one scene, and it's funny. As many times I've seen this film, I never knew that he was already in the fucking house the whole time. There's a scene where, like, you see the cop. He's like one of the sheriff deputies. He's sitting in the chair rocking, and then if you see from afar in the back of the screen, you see like just for like a 2 second glimpse of like a shadow, and it's Michael Myers just standing there, and it's gone. And it was like, oh shit. Um, I've been watching this movie forever and a day, and I didn't know that until someone posted it like on a reel on YouTube. Like, what? He was there the whole time.
Yeah, see, I thought he had to be because I was like, how else did he get in the house? He must have already been in there, but I just never like you just said, I never even noticed that part.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either. I think the kills that they did in this one were really good. I mean, some fell flat, like the sheriff's daughter. Like he got the gun and just rammed it right through her. It's like, you know.
Yeah,
Brady, I thought was all right, but I thought it was stupid because he's crushing his head, and then all of a sudden, like he stops for a second, spits, and then he's like, oh, what? It's I don't know. I love the fact of the cat and mouse game. I love how they did with Danielle Harris, how she was, you know, she was a kid in this one, but I loved how, well, I didn't, it's creepy to think of this, right?
Yeah.
Because you never see horror films anymore where they go after kids, like the killer goes after the kids or anything. So that was kind of different. Um, that I like that aspect because it kind of built up anxiety. Like, is he gonna kill her? Like, what is he trying to do? You know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And she's for a child actress, she was really good.
yeah, that's they took a lot of risk with this one. They really did, and I mean, this one I think did really great because of the fact of people were just hungry to see Michael Myers again. Um, Michael Myers. Well, Halloween came out in 1978, the birth of the slashers. I think it was 80 when part two came out. Part three, I think, was like 85, which had nothing to do with Michael Myers. But this one, it wasn't until like the late 80s, early 90s.
'88,
And it
so it
was,
was 10 years after the original came out. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, four, I think, was where it peaked. And then when it came down to five, five just kind of like, meh. And then, of course, everybody knows about part six being totally 90s. But I love how they kind of build this story up where, he finds out all of a sudden now that he has a niece. They're transporting him, of course, on fucking Halloween. And the townspeople go crazy. My favorite shot in this is when he's in the truck and he's like trying to pull her out of the truck. And then
Oh,
she like runs him down. And I don't know, was it a cemetery or was it a fucking well? I can't remember towards the end.
it was some kind of. It might have been a well, but it was something to where it was like almost like wood or something. That he like he's getting shot by like the state troopers that show up there at the end.
Yeah.
He falls through it,
Mm.
and you don't see exactly where he comes out at until I believe the beginning of the next film in part five.
Yeah. And I love that ending where because it made you think, oh shit, they're gonna kill him off. Because they're all shooting fucking shotgun shells, everything. He falls down. All the gravestones fall in with him. And you think that's it, right?
Yeah,
And I love the twist because this is the funny thing. And now they started barely talking about it. Even, Daniel Harris brought this up. The twist in this movie was, Dr. Loomis, over the top Donald Pleasance. He was amazing in all the Halloween films, but he was always over the top. And you think this is going to be a happy ending. Michael Myers is dead. Jamie Lloyd goes home. Parents finally show up because they're out in a fucking Halloween party. And then the twist at the end where she puts on the mask and it's like, what the fuck? And then she stabs the shit out of her mom.
yeah,
And then I thought what was crazy is at the end she does it, and then she's standing up there holding up the knife, and then fucking, Dr. Lewis, no, 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 and he pulls out the gun trying to shoot her, and the movie just black ends. Um, I love that because now you open the door of like, okay, what are they gonna do with Jamie? Is she the next Michael Myers? Are they gonna follow it like Evil Never Dies and transfer it over, or how are you gonna continue with Michael Myers? Of course, we find out later on in part five, but
yeah. They kind of make you think that she might be like another serial killer or something like that. And the next one, it's a little strange what they actually do, but yeah, it definitely makes you think that that's what's going to happen.
right?
Almost like they did in Friday 13 Part 5 at the end when Tommy looks like he's going to be the next like copycat killer, but he ends up not being.
Yeah, it's just the '80s. They try something to stick on the wall. If it didn't work, then they make the next film that had nothing to fucking do with it. And they never explained it.
Yeah,
That's
but
why I was like, oh
like
man,
joyless one. I mean, it has its small issues here and there, but overall, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. I mean, it's a pretty damn good movie.
damn, 8 out of 10. Wow, I'm surprised. I know normally you rate your movies pretty low. That's why I'm like 8 out of 10.
Well, I'm used to watching
Uh,
shitty movies, man.
I mean, okay, I'll give it to you. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. My rating on this, I mean, oh, I know I'm gonna hear a bunch of bullshit on this, but I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
That's not
Or
bad.
yeah, I mean, I'm on the fence at 6.57, and here's the reason why. One, if they would have made the plot a little bit better where they're transporting them not on fucking Halloween night, okay, cool. You have to obviously follow the protocol on that. To the mask, I just can't with the mask. I love the fact that it was George P. Wilbur. He's a stuntman who got to do him, and then he also played Michael Myers again in Part 6. I think he recently passed away last year, so I mean, rest in peace. He was one of the first people to do Michael Myers twice. But he did a good job on this. I mean, he was pretty fit. They kind of show that he was all messed up and everything. But storyline, I love. I honestly wish they would have played in a lot more about Jamie going crazy where she had the urge to kill and just not like blew it up at the end. But they should have showed that like she had the urge to kill and she was like hiding out, at the sheriff's house. I mean, how much different will the story have been?
Yeah, it could have been a lot different than it was.
Yeah.
They
But
don't. Then, like I said, we'll see when it goes into the next one exactly what they do with that. But
yeah.
not expecting at all.
Yeah, so we're gonna bring up and talk about part 5 soon, but for those of you that haven't seen Halloween 4, I'm gonna beat it like a dead horse. Go watch it. That's a good one. And tell us your ratings. Let us know in the comments below because I'm surprised that some people like it, some people don't. It's one of those films, you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Michael Myers Halloween fan, but there are some that I don't like as much for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, uh, 4 is better than most. I'll give it that. I'll give it that.
Yeah. What are we doing next? Next, we'll be doing a commentary on Leprechaun 4 for our annual St. Patrick's Day special.
Yeah, throw that up. This is a classic. We got to do one every year.
Can't wait for that.
Oh man, the people that are still driving Fords are pissed off from the time when we did the first one. Fuck Fords. Goddamn. Oh my god. Good times though. Good times. So be sure to tune in on that audio commentary that we're going to be doing on Leprechaun 4. You can't miss that one because that's the one where he's in space. So from what I know, that's Casey's favorite. It's not my favorite, but I love watching Leprechaun films. I mean, who doesn't, but we're going to have some fun on that. But yeah, dude, fuck it. Let's go watch some horror films.